be a lot more serious about this. Come on.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Whoa. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Whoa. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome
Thank you and welcome back, James. Your soul is very welcome here. And your soul is welcome here, and all these souls and all these bodies are welcome here, no matter where you've been or where you are on your spiritual path. We're so glad you have joined us today. And so we begin by acknowledging that we are in the traditional unceded territory of the Snuneymuxw people here in Nanaimo, and throughout British Columbia, the Coast Salish people, and all of the First Nations, Indigenous, and Inuit people of Canada. We honor them for the way they're welcoming us and teaching us to look after the land in a better way. Hi, Sepka. Would you join me for prayer, please? As we just know, simply know, without thinking about it, without figuring it out, just knowing that we are one. That there is one power and presence in the universe and active in our lives, each one of us. And that one power unites us, guides us, leads us, and shows us how to love. And we are here for that very purpose this morning. To love, to give love, to receive love, to grow love, and to send love into the world. And for this we are grateful. And so it is. Amen. Some more music, please, James.
We are one with all creation. Endless are our possibilities. Wake up and join the celebration. Everyone's welcome in this community. There is just one present, there is just one light, shining in the world like a beacon in the night. There is just one power we all can share, one great power everywhere. One great power, one great love, big as the ocean and the skies up above. One great spirit waiting in prayer, one great power everywhere. There is just one purpose, there is just one spark, burning in our soul like a candle in the dark. There is just one chorus we all can sing, one great power, let it be. One great power, one great love, because the ocean and the stars up above. One great spirit waiting in prayer, one great spirit everywhere. One great spirit everywhere, one great power everywhere.
I have read this story to you before, but when I heard the word hope, which is our topic today, I just remembered this story, and so I'm going to read it again. A few years ago in my garden, I built 2 shallow lily ponds and put goldfish into them. They multiplied. But dogs tore the liner and ruined the ponds, so in the fall I drained them and gave the fish away. Later that fall, much rain fell, and into the winter, much snow. 2 or 3 inches of water formed in the bottom of the pools. It must have been frozen solid for at least a month, and must have frozen solid and thawed a number of times. There may have been times when the pools were dry. When spring came, I went out one Sunday afternoon to measure the pools because I intended to rebuild them. I measured the larger pool, then went to the smaller one. It had no water in it. It had rained a week before, so how long it had been dry, I do not know. There were a few spots of half-dry, oozy muck in the bottom. On top of this muck, in the sun, on its side, and not breathing, lay a goldfish about 3 inches long. I still remember my surprise at seeing it there in the middle of that empty pond, shining in the sun, a little red goldfish. It has to be dead, I thought. But almost as I thought it, something in that fish said, "No, no, I am alive. Pick me up." I ran to the house and got a glass of water. I picked up the fish, and it gasped. I put it in the glass, and for a long time it did not move again. I could see that one fin was gone, and part of its side was damaged. I moved the fish from the glass into a larger bowl. For several days, it showed almost no sign of life, but little by little, its vitality came back. And in a week, that little fish was lashing with life. That fish was the most alive creature I ever saw. It spent every waking moment flashing, darting, hurtling around that bowl and trying to push through the glass. When I put it back into the lily pond, it lived in the pond as if to know how dear life is and was not going to waste a moment of it. How had it survived that winter of freezing and thawing and drying out? It is hard to surmise. And what if I had not gone out to the pond on that March day? A few more minutes at most, and it surely would have died. But it lived to live furiously again. You may not think so, but I will always believe I had to go out to that pond because it had to live. I suppose you had to see my fish to understand. You had to pick it up. You had to see it lashing about the bowl. You had to see it whirling through that pond. Somehow that fish had the livingness of life in it. What a fuss to make about a fish, you may say, and a ridiculous coincidence. I am only such a fish. not even gold. And my pond is also a perilous, precarious place. It too has many times of freezing, of thawing, and of drying out. And like my fish, I too am here, because I have called, and the feet of the world have been no less swift when they ran to succor me. We are all linked one to another. We answer, though we have heard no voice. We respond, though we do not know we have been summoned. And the universe responds to us with powers you could not think were there, by ways you had no forethought of, bringing help you could not know would come. James Tillett Freeman. Another song.
We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones who will make a difference. We are the ones who will change the world. We are the ones, we are the ones, we are. I've been feeling like I can make a difference. Been feeling like there ain't no use. Feeling tired and a little unconscious. Coming up with every kind of excuse till I realize it's not all up to me. When we join together, we shape our destiny to see the world where we are living as one. It can be, it shall be, it will be. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones who will make a difference. We are the ones who will change the world. We are the ones, we are the ones, we are. No one else gonna make the changes. No savior gonna drop from the sky. Nothing left to do but wake up, 'cause it's really up to you and I to take it one step at a time. Stand together with your hand in mine. Then we will see the world that we've been dreaming about. We need it now, the time is now, there is no doubt. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones who will make a difference. We are the ones who will change the world. We are the ones, we are the ones, we are the ones, we are. I am the one, I am the one, I am. You are the one, you are the one, you are. We are the ones, we are the one.
This is like really squishy. This feels really squishy for me. There, that's better. Hi, everybody. Ooh, I'm really loud. Loud voice. I'll talk in my quiet voice. This was really nice. Thank you for sharing that. All right. Good morning, everybody. Sometimes when my wonderful wife is here with me, she corrects me as I go along. It's awesome. There's a lot of pressure. It's a lot more pressure than you think. I'm good with everybody else here, but when she's here, I'm like, oh no, have I? So I had this talk title, Science of Hope, and I didn't really know how it was gonna play out in this week, and it went in a completely different direction than I had imagined it would go. And speaking of the word imagined, what ended up happening was, as I ventured down this road of hope and was looking up things and reading different things around hope, one of the direct tie-ins to hope became imagination. And one of our great 12 powers that we have at Unity is the power of imagination. And what I started to put together was this idea that they are so entwined, that imagination and hope are actually, you can't have one without the other, really. They need to be together. So I pulled up, hope is an optimistic state of mind that is based on an expectation of positive outcomes with respect to events and circumstances in one's life or the world at large. As a verb, its definitions include expect with confidence and to cherish a desire with anticipation. So that's kind of like a blah, blah, blah of the word hope. It is like, it's like, oh, what did you just say? Right? Can anybody repeat back what I just said? No. Right? So we're going to take it out of that realm and put it into something we can actually use. And so Reverend Patricia reminded me that today was St. Patrick's Day when I gave her the talk title, and she goes, it's St. Patrick's Day. And I was like, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm not Irish, so I don't really know what to do with that. But I thought I'll bring something in that would give us hope. So St. Patrick is associated with the clover, right? There is that small association with the clover, and the four-leaf clover is a sign of good luck. Its very discovery will inflict the person with hope. Huh? Right? And when you think of hope, what we're trying to do really when we have this idea of being hopeful about something is we're trying to pull that future that we might see into our present, or we're trying to pull ourselves forward into that hope. Does it not feel that way? Like that's maybe what we're trying to accomplish when we have hope in mind? So as I was going through things, I came across different writers that had written some blog posts on hope, and some of them I found just fascinating, and I want to share them. Even though I'm not one for reading so much from here, there are some ideas that I want to share, and one comes from Susan Griffin. Perhaps hope lies less in the direction of grand theories than in the capacity to see, to look past old theories that may obscure understanding and even promise, to assume what the Buddhists call beginner's mind, and to see what exists freshly and without prejudice clears the path for seeing what might exist in the future or what is possible. And isn't that really what hope is when we're living in that world of hope? There's a possibility of something different than the way it currently is. And it might not even be that you're suffering immensely. You might just be in a place where, right now, this particular thing is not working for me. Right? It's just not working. And you can get lost in the not working, but you can also spend time getting yourself centered and bring in that beginner's mind where maybe your imagination steps in and a new possibility comes forward. And then it's that possibility that becomes the hope that we can now move into, right? That we can now live forward into that. So no one can stop us from imagining another kind of future. And this is where our imagination comes in. How do we spark that imagination, right? For me, what works best is to get quiet, to think about something that maybe isn't working or something that I might want a new sense of or a new direction in, to get myself in a quiet space, get out of the monkey mind, right? Anybody have that? That's what it sounds like to me. It's like somebody's sitting there with the Morse code going, and then I'm trying to catch up to it. Where if I could just let that go and get quiet and still and allow myself to become present in the moment, then my imagination can actually kick in. Or we could spark our imagination by doing art, by doing something creative to get out. Anybody here garden? Of course, I know there are people here that garden, but I'll just ask, anybody here garden? How about online? Any of you garden joining us today? Right, it's in, but have you ever had a good idea when you're gardening? Yeah, right? Like you're doing something, you're involved in your life, you're present to what you're doing. Maybe the mind isn't doing the Morse code beep sounds, and then suddenly it's like, oh, hey, maybe that seems like a really good idea. And then all of a sudden, if it's something for you, it can start to play in your mind, and you can start to imagine something different in that. And then when we get excited about that, so now we might bring some zeal or some enthusiasm, another one of our 12 powers, to that new imagination, and suddenly there's a new horizon that we could be looking at. Anybody experience that? Yeah. And so anytime we're feeling in that place like this isn't working, or I'm frustrated, or I'm even angry at something, the trick is to not allow that to run amok. The trick is to notice first, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm experiencing, and pull ourselves back, right? Pull some weeds, thank you. That might be a good thing to do. But to pull ourselves back and see, oh, this is what's going on. I can change that. I can create something new. And what is it going to take? And for everybody, there's going to be different things. I'm somebody that likes to drive. I love to get in a car, my motorcycle now, and just go. And that allows me to clear the space and come up with something, and to at least get myself out of that state of being. I came across this story of Desnos. Desnos, a French poet and surrealist. He was in a concentration camp in World War II. And they were taken, him and a group of men were taken and put into a vehicle, and they knew where they were going. It was going to be the end. This was going to be execution for them. And when they arrived, this surrealist poet fellow, who we don't really know in the story whether he could actually read palms or not, but when they got out of the truck, he could see just the despair in everybody. And he grabbed the guy next to him, and he laid out his palm, and he started to read his palm aloud. Oh, look at this. I see a long life for you with children. And he just started to ramble on about what he read on the palm. And then the next person said, well, read my palm. And he kept doing this to the point where he changed the actual mentality of everybody there, including the executioners, who, when seeing this is a true story, couldn't actually be with what they were going to do, put them all back in the truck and return them to the camp. All because he changed what everybody saw in that moment, and he gave new hope even to the people that were not even facing any kind of fear except what they were probably going to do. Now, unfortunately, he ended up dying a few days after the camp he was in was liberated. Thank you for that word. Appreciate that. After the camp was liberated. But this is what hope can do for us, right? Is we can take on something new, see it, and all of a sudden, as we move closer to Easter, resurrect ourselves from that suffering that we might be in to see something new. I think last week Reverend Patricia spoke about Christianity and whether Unity is a Christian organization or not. And it's not what I'm going to talk about right now, but what I am going to talk about is my view on Jesus, because I really see Jesus as a guy in the time that he was around was actually going around giving hope to people. Right? He talked about there is a new kingdom. The kingdom of heaven is here. And sharing this idea that there was a new state of mind, of beingness that people could experience, right? And he was speaking to the downtrodden, the cast outs, the sick, the people that the hierarchy above didn't want anything to do with. And what he was doing was giving them hope that there was something better than their current experience. You know, and I hear that often, that Jesus saves, right? Has anybody heard that? You know, that idea that Jesus saves, and I don't think of it in terms of the Son of Man and he is Lord, and so maybe I'm blaspheming right now, but I don't see it as that. But I do see many people that take on his teachings, this idea, and they are saved, right? They see something new for them, for their lives, that they never saw when they were experiencing whatever torment they were going through. Now, it's not a question of whether that's good or bad. It's just the idea that inside those words, Jesus saves, there is actually a truth. It's maybe just not in the way that some people position it, as if you don't believe in, then you're going to, right? That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about the simple fact that if you were to take on non-judgment, right, loving your neighbor, letting go of things, bringing peace to the world, taking care of people, having compassion for others, if you were to take that on, is that not a recipe to a better experience in life? I think it is, no matter who we are or no matter what we might be experiencing. If we can get out of the realm of my life sucks. Does anybody have that? Let me say it. My life sucks. I've had that, right? I've been there. I've had that experience of thinking that. If we can get out of that and into maybe focusing on serving others, that's a great avenue to get out of that, right? And then we might see a new hope for ourselves in that, and they might see a new hope for themselves. And so between us, we begin to actually serve one another and rise up together, raise our consciousness, right, to a new experience. So I was playing with that idea that Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. By faith we understand that the universe was formed at God's command, so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible. So isn't that really hope and imagination? It's not like it's real when we imagine something, yet it gives us this hope and we can make it real. So let me, I'm going to try to do this in a really simple way by using an example. I was thinking about this morning when I was walking my amazing four-legged dog. He just wanted to be clear, he has 4 legs. In case any of you thought maybe he only had 3 or 2, he is well equipped with 4 legs. I was thinking about, so again, as I started, I had this idea for this talk title, The Science of Hope. And I didn't really know where it was going to go. And what you might not know, and I've shared this a little bit before, is I am afraid of every talk title I ever put forth, because I know that somehow I'm going to have to speak to this thing, right? And so there's a great fear in me that the day is coming. So the moment on Wednesday when I give this to Patricia, Reverend Patricia, I now have basically 3 to 4 days to get my act together, right? But here's the thing, is that it's now a hope for me that I will be able to do something on the day. It really is. I hope I'm going to be able to show up here and deliver something that might have some impact or meaning, if not to you, then at least to myself, right? Like if I can at least please myself, then maybe there's a good chance I might please one other person that might hear this. And so my imagination begins to run with seeing myself do it, right? I have to actually visually see that I am capable of doing this. And that's what I lean into. I don't lean into the fear of, oh no, what if nothing comes out? What if I'm stuck? I have to chase that away and lean into, no, I can do this. This can totally happen. And everything I need for this is going to show up. Now, I do have to put some work in, right? I do actually have to open myself up to a little bit of investigative journalism, you might say. I need to be reading things and putting things into myself that can spark my imagination further, that can grow my ideas and bring some stuff to the moment. Right? So it's not just sit back on the sofa and it'll all come. There is work. And that's the thing about hope is, remember I said that we want to either pull hope into or we want to pull ourselves forward into it? That requires action. Right? It's okay to imagine and it's okay to have hope, but if we don't actually move our feet, so to speak, if we don't actually do things towards that, it's not going to happen. Have you ever weeded the garden without actually weeding the garden? Just curious. You could hire somebody, so that would be, but there's still action involved, right? There's still, hey, I made a phone call, I booked somebody in, they came over, they looked at it, they did the job for me. Right? But that's the thing, is that hope is great, imagination is great, but we need to put ourselves into motion. So even as Unity, as we say when we get together that it's all perfect and it'll all come and, you know, all those nice things, all those niceties we say about the Unity spirit, you know, I think of the idea that we're looking for a building and the right and perfect building will show up. That's great. That's a really great way to be. But if nobody's doing anything about it, it's not going to happen. It's just not. Right? So we have responsibility in this. So no matter where we are within ourselves, we can call upon ourselves. And that's really what I see as that hope, is calling upon a deeper sense of myself and my imagination and what's possible for my life and bringing that to life outside. Now, here's the thing, is you're probably going to look really foolish. No, think about it. Right? If you have some great idea, hey, like just comes into my mind right now, Jeff Bezos. Hey, I'm going to start this online marketplace where people can buy books and not actually go to a bookstore. People probably thought he was crazy. Right? What a foolish idea that is. No, I'm going to go down another road here, story-wise. Okay, I'm still good on time. I just watched something recently on the story of Blockbuster, and actually it was the story of Netflix. Okay, so it was a documentary. Oddly enough, it was on Prime. Isn't that great? They all love each other so much. They just share and share. But I watched this documentary, and so Netflix had started the mail the DVDs out to your home, right? That was the beginning of Netflix. It was mailing DVDs out, and they figured out how to do this. They did testing. They figured out that the postal sorting machine would not crush the DVD as long as it was just the DVD, not the full plastic package, right? So they did all of that testing, and it was like, wow. They mailed one to themselves, the two founders. 3 days later, it showed up in their mailbox, and the DVD was intact. And they were like, oh, we have a business. So they began that way. And then the internet exploded, and they turned that into online streaming, Right. Now, Blockbuster was the stores, as we all know. You went and rented your DVD, and they were being destroyed by Netflix. So they got together in their board meetings and reimagined what Blockbuster could be and said, we have an advantage. Not only can we do the mail out thing that Netflix is doing, we can have people come to the store and return the DVD and get a new one right away, a new movie. So there was no waiting for the 3 or 4 days that you would have to mail it back. Netflix gets it, then they mail you the new DVD. This was instant. And they began to actually surpass Netflix because of this amalgamation of the online or the mail-in service and the ability to go into the store, because people still like the ability to go right there and get a new movie to watch. So Netflix gets bought out by Video, starts with V, doesn't matter, by a large corporation. Or sorry, Blockbuster gets bought out. The new CEO comes in and decides, after all of this energy and work into reimagining Blockbuster, and it was going and it was working, and they were actually going to probably crush Netflix as a result, because they even dropped the price, and Netflix couldn't compete with that price. The new CEO comes in and decides, he was from 7-Eleven, and decides that the internet is not the way to go, and this is a completely stupid idea, and killed the mail service and the internet service. Yeah. And it was that thing alone crushed Blockbuster and allowed Netflix to be the gold standard in the business. So we have to imagine things, and we have to keep reimagining the things that we're doing and stick with that great idea that we have. Keep pushing it forward, but not be so stuck in it that we can't see new possibilities to build on. And when I think about Blockbuster, where they were getting challenged, they saw what we need to do is this, and once they brought that in, they were able to see, oh, we could actually outcompete them by having the store presence and the mail service. And that's what we can do for ourselves. We can reimagine our lives at any time. That's the beautiful thing about imagination, and that will spark hope for us that we can live into. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, hey, thanks. Thank you, James. So here's some things you might want to do in order to move that forward. So in my view, we are here to grow, to evolve physically, mentally, emotionally, and consciously. That's one of the things we get to do while we're here. So give yourself time to rest. Growth does not happen without gestation, right? We need these moments where we can take a break and go, okay, everything I've just learned, how do I put that together? And you know what? You don't even need to think about it. If you just sit in the silence, your subconscious and your conscious mind will just work it all out for you. It's pretty incredible. It'll begin to flow those ideas and put them together. Stop using I can't. Anybody say I can't here? Maybe you don't now, but was there a time? Yes. Right, okay. So change that to I want to, but I don't know how to right now. Just even begin with that. Just reframing it into something like that. Put your imagination into action. Dream, journal, write down your dreams, waking and sleeping, right? Get in the habit of putting them into some sort of thing that you can revisit. All my talks end up with notes that I can look back on, and then it kind of secures that idea in me. Be creative, engage in art, playing in nature, take on a new project, do what sparks joy in your life. Do something that sparks joy in your life. Practice compassionate patience with yourself and others. This includes making space for failure or disappointments. Yeah. It's okay to fail and have disappointments. We can actually build on those, right? They can become a thing we can stand on. Focus on what you see in the world that inspires hope in you. And this one, I don't know where I don't know why I put this here, but I'm going to say it. You are not obligated to associate with people who are making your life worse. Okay, just know that. That would go with ideas too, right? Remember somebody said pulling the weeds? Yeah, those ideas that we have floating around that are making our life worse, we're not obligated to keep them. You know, we can actually discard them. But again, we need to do it. It's not going to happen unless we, you and I, each of us here, take responsibility, personal responsibility for all of those things. And then that's what we can have. Yeah. Great question. So somebody, for those that might not have heard that, somebody has just asked if we can do a collective group prayer to call in. This is going to lead right into a meditation. So yes, we will do that. Oh, you're talking about what, the future? Oh, I see. You're talking about the new building possibility, the place we're going to go. Yes, that's entirely. Yeah, of course we can do that. Yeah, anybody that wants to stay after, we could do that. If that's a thing we want to do, guess what? We get to decide. Hey, is this what we want to do? Yeah, let's do this then. So if anybody wants to stay after service for 5 or 10 minutes and pray and contemplate the idea of a new home for us, then let's do that. Let's put that energy into work. All right. So today I invite you to cultivate hope and see how it transforms your life. And so if you'll join me, please, we will take a few moments now to go within, to see what we can cultivate within ourselves. And this moment is for you, and we can join as a group later to do something with regards to our future as unity. But this time is for you. So if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. If not, I invite you to find a place either on the ground or the chair in front of you where you can soften your gaze. If you're at home, you could be sitting or laying down. Allow yourself to begin the process of relaxation. So if we follow Unity's 5-step prayer process, we would begin with relaxation. Allowing ourselves to breathe, noticing our breath. And with each exhale, dropping our shoulders, finding a spot that we can bring a little more relaxation to within ourselves. And in the service of hope, we can begin to contemplate. Step 2 is to contemplate, concentration on an idea. So we relax, we concentrate. We allow that concentration to bring us into a more meditative state. We allow ourselves to sit in the silence for a few moments together. And as you're ready, take a nice deep breath in. Let that go. And as you prepare to open your eyes, our final step is to bring in gratitude. So we are grateful for this time together, grateful for all these people that joined us. Grateful for this community. Namaste.
There's only one of us. In your eyes is me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. There is only one of us. In your eyes is me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is one of us. There is only one. There is only one.
Thank you, Reverend Thomas. You know, usually these talks make me feel so good about myself, but I'm just sitting in this memory of 1985, which is what, 40 years ago, pretty near. My husband had this great idea that I shot down because people would never buy that. And besides, we didn't have enough money. Home delivery of meals. So if you're the person who's always keeping a sane mind and, you know, and thank you for moving this back. I really want to keep a smaller footprint in the world. So we have some announcements this morning. Next week. You're own it. Yeah. Next week, after service, the board of directors will be meeting live in person here, and you are invited to come and watch. New idea, right? You'll be welcome. Next Saturday, this coming Saturday, Reverend Thomas will be one of the speakers, and there'll be people there. We'll all be there with wonderful handouts and good ideas for people at the Wellness Expo, and that's March 23rd, Saturday from 10 to 5 at Bebban Park. He's speaking at 4 o'clock. So time your visit. And also Saturday, March the 3rd is what's Earth Hour, March the 23rd. So at 8:30 p.m., if we all shut off our lights for just an hour, as a token, really, of what we can do. I just drove through Seattle at 11 o'clock at night. There were, you know, every car lot lit up like sunlight, every parking garage, everything lit up. Do we really need to do that? Turn your power off for an hour and see how it goes. New spring online class with Reverend Vicky will be starting in April the 9th. It'll be Zoom Tuesday evenings. You can register by revvicky@unityvancouverisland.com. Coming soon, we will be going to Zoom services, so those of you who are watching at home can participate a little more. We will have a speaker, we will have a host, and we will have conversation afterwards. And Thomas would love to hear from anyone who is interested in taking part as a Zoom host or doing the prayer and words of wisdom. So just let Thomas know. hello@thomasdeschutter.com. I just said that. Okay. Other ongoing events, Tai Chi continues Tuesday morning with Rick. Karine Hollier is doing the Wednesday Tai Chis at the moment. That will be finishing at the end of March. Course of Miracles on Thursday mornings with Leanne, Full Moon Circle, and the Women of the New Moon groups are monthly, as is the new Quantum Healing Meditation by Ailsie. Unity Vancouver Island events, they have the in-person service on the 3rd Sunday of each month and prayer circle on the 1st Monday. And in Comox, prayer circle is the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays and the in-person on the 2nd Sunday of the month. Women of the New Moon Zoom group next gathering April 7th at 7 o'clock, and the link is in your newsletter. And the Full Moon Circle, which is next Sunday at 7 o'clock in person here. And this is Elle's Quantum Healing Meditation on the 4th Wednesday of the month. And our Margaret, who imports fair trade goods from Nepal, is Thomas's guest this week, so you should enjoy watching that. And I just want to thank everyone for the tremendous support we receive financially and morally. You know, Thomas and I talk to each other and support each other, but gosh, it feels good to be welcomed home when you're away and know that you're loved. So thank you for everything you do to support what we do here. And James, another song, please.
I am so grateful for this life I have to live. Oh, and I am so grateful for all I have to give. For I live in a world of abundance, in a true never-ending source from above. Yes, I live in a world of abundance, with a life overflowing and a heart full of love. I am so grateful, for I know my path is blessed by the love so full and graceful. I can trust in every step, for I live in a world of abundance, source from above. Yes, I live in a world of abundance, with a life overflowing and a heart full of love. Yes, I live in a world of abundance, with a life ever flowing and a heart full of love.
Thank you, James. I don't believe we have any children with us this morning, but if we did, they wouldn't be looking like this. But even when they are, we see the divine light shining as you. We love and appreciate you exactly the way you are. Our vision, Unity Vancouver Island, is a growing, unfolding, expanding center of light and love, mighty to attract its good and radiate good to others. Oh, we do have children. Welcome, children. And Dawn will be in our prayer room following service for a few moments for individual prayer support. And I want to thank Dawn for being on the camera as well this morning, Marie for tech at the back, and Stella as always, and the children's people and the coffee people and the people who come early and set up chairs. You know, the Indigenous people have someone called a faith keeper. It's a great honor. And the faith keeper comes and sets up chairs early on Sunday morning. So, I mean, if anyone really... And let's have our prayer for protection, followed by our peace song. The light that is God surrounds us. We are one with the light. The love that is God enfolds us. We are one with the love. The power that is God protects us. We are one with the power. The presence that is God watches over us. We are one with the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and so it is. Amen.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that's worth meant to be. With love as our center, family within. Let us with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin I take. Let this be my solemn vow to take each moment and live each moment peace in only. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
Checking, checking. Monica has an announcement.
I have a gift for everyone. You have to talk into it. Okay, thanks. I have a gift for you. I have a gift for everyone here. Are you ready? Are you ready to accept your gift? All right. Reverend Patricia, what's it called when you show up early and set up? A faith keeper? There is another faith keeper opportunity available to anyone here or someone you know who might like to learn something fabulous. You don't have to be named Iris to clean this beautiful space that we use. And all it takes is if there's two of you, it takes 2 hours. And if there's one of you, it takes 4 hours. I am moving away, so I won't, and I'm not Iris, I'm Monica, but I won't be able to continue cleaning. But I am offering a free gift. I will mentor anyone who would like to learn how to be a washerwoman and wash a floor and clean things, because top of the morning to you.